Okay. So today I would like to welcome to Cat Space Mike Goldman. Mike Goldman, who is a radio and TV personality with shows such as and movies Goddess with the legend Magda Zabansky and Ronan Keating the singer, Shooting Goldman in 2012, Big Brother Up Late, eviction shows, Friday Night Games with Fitzy and Brie Amer, Big Brother Daily Shows channels 10 and 7, and Big Bro Show channel 7, Meerkat Manor, and my favorite, Joker Poker. On the mic
Ah,
on the Mike podcast show as well, who interviews celebrities. How are you? How's your day been going? Thank you for joining me today.
hello there, love. How are you?
I'm not too bad. So I've been doing a lot of homework in regards to you as I've been following you and your career for so long. I mean, since 2001, I remember following you and remember watching Up Late and, all the sneaky tidbits and the fun shows and the quizzes and the games. So I'm going to get started because I'm ready. Okay, what age were you inspired to go into the route of TV and radio, and how did it all start?
Well, I started because my parents worked in TV and radio, and the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, my lovely. I decided when I was very, very young that I wanted to be an actor, and had a couple of little roles in some shows like BMX Bandits and Home and Away, and did a lot of voiceovers as a kid, did some mobile disco work, worked on radio, and sort of climbed the ladder to do TV stuff. My mum was a weather girl on Channel 7 and Channel 10, and my dad was a radio announcer who hosted some TV shows as well, like the first ever colour television show in Australia, which was Countdown, before Molly Meldrum hosted it. So I was very young when I got my break.
Now, I know you being, a voiceover actor, TV roles, things like that. You've also been in radio, and that's been such a huge career for you. So, for so many years now, can you tell us about your self discovery into becoming a radio host, or your self discovery about radio?
Yeah, sure, babe.
What made you
Yeah,
enthusiastic
yeah.
about it?
Yeah, of course, of course. The whole radio thing came about because my dad was on radio, and I got the job as office boy at radio station 2SM in Sydney when I was about 15. And basically, it was my job to get cups of coffee for all the DJs, clean up, and then a blind guy started working, hosting a show from midnight till dawn. And it was my job to sit with a blind guy by the name Matt Ponsonby. He was a very famous voiceover guy from Sydney. And he would host a whole radio show for about 6 hours, blind, 100% blind. And there was no touch screens or anything like that back then. It was so long ago. It was all faders and CDs, but so you couldn't feel the CDs to know what was on each CD. So I had to make sure that he was putting the right CDs in the right cover. Otherwise, the other DJs would get mixed up. So I had to learn how to work this brailing machine, and I brailled 4,000 CDs and records in the library at 2SM so that the blind guy knew how to work it. And I used to, late at night, because it got so boring there, I'd turn off all the lights in the building and pretend I was blind as well, to see if I could walk around. That was my first start and taste of radio. And he actually got fired because of cost cutting, and I was free. And then after he left, they used this new automation system called Fred that was playing tapes from midnight till 6 a.m. And every announcer during the day had to record an hour each or 2 hours each, and then they'd put it on this big machine, these huge reels of audio, and they'd play one after the other from midnight till 6 a.m. Anyway, that computer was called Fred. At 2SM, 182 Blues Point Road in North Sydney, and it shit itself. So they're like, what are we going to do? And no one wanted to work from midnight until 6 a.m. So they said, get the kid to do it. Get the work experience kid. So I was on the radio from midnight till 6 a.m. and I was freaking out, because to get your first break at a capital city radio station, even though it's midnight to dawn, this was a great station back in the day. Still is. and it was just unheard of. And so that was a huge opportunity for me. And from there, I went to Taree and spent a year or two there, and Gosford and Sunshine Coast, Gold Coast, Brisbane, all over the place. I've been fired from most radio stations in Australia. That's what I'm trying to say.
I don't see it happening. I'm sorry, but no, I don't see it happening. I mean, watching you for so many years and you being in radio, I think there's a few people, well, a couple of people in my life that have inspired me to do it, but you're one of them. Like I used to watch and go, wow, I wouldn't mind that career, and I wouldn't mind that career. And that's why, when I went into community radio station up in Windsor, I remember going, wow, this is the career for me. Like, this is what I want to choose. And
Did you do a show there in Windsor?
Yes, I did. Cat Space.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Yeah. And now I'm doing podcasting, and I think it's so therapeutic, and I absolutely loved it. Now, you hosted Big Brother for a long time. What year stood out for you? And can you tell us some fun stories?
Oh, fun stories. Well, the first year is always going to go down as the greatest because it was history making. There was never a TV show like it, and it shocked the world. It shocked everyone. And for years after, people were still shocked. I don't think they're as shocked today, 20 years later. It's still going. But I'd say probably series one, when we had Ben Williams, I think his name was, who won. Yep. Sarah Marie came second or third, and Blair was on it, Blair McDonough, I think his name is, who's an actor now. He's an actor now, and he's been on a whole stack of different shows. But yeah, I have to say that one. And as for crazy stories, the second part of your question, there are far too many of those. I think I need to bring out a book. I could talk about when the whole set caught fire. I could talk about when people tried to break into the house. I could talk about the times I got into trouble for saying things I wasn't supposed to. There's so many stories, Kat.
You know what was my favorite episode of all time was, I think, 2012, when Layla and all of them went in, and and Big Brother did this freeze moment where, sort of like a moment of they had to ignore all the guests coming through, and you walked in with a microphone and sat on their beds and started commenting. I thought that was
that was the ignore the obvious task, where basically the housemates had to ignore anything that happened in the house out of the ordinary. So we sent in marching bands, dancing girls, strippers, all sorts of crazy stuff. And I went in there being the narrator of the show, and I followed them around with a microphone saying, it's 4 p.m. in the Big Brother house, and Susie and Chris are in the backyard having a chat. And they'd sit there and they'd have a talk about something and try to pretend that I'm not there. And Susie then smells the fresh air and wonders, did Jonathan fart? I'll just make things up like that. So that was lots of fun.
I'm sure someone just absolutely, I remember Stacker went crazy when all the past housemates like Fitzy and Regina went in, and Paulie and all them, Trevor went in, and they were trying to they were trying to do something, and they were jumping in the pool with her, and she absolutely lost her cool for that moment. I'm going, oh dear God, Stacker, don't ruin it, don't get a fail. God, love Stacker. Okay, I saw you did Shooting Goldman in 2012. What was the concept behind that?
So I had a couple of guys reach out to me who had won an award for their screenplay. They were movie producers, directors, and they said that they wanted to make a movie about me around my life, but it's fake. They put actors around me. I had an actor playing my agent, actors playing people in the studios I'd go to do voiceovers or TV shows. And in the movie, I start thinking that my whole life is a reality show, a little bit like the Truman Show. And I get really paranoid and I go a little bit crazy. I get my hands on some guns and I might even shoot a few people. But it's not what you think. If you start watching it, you go, oh yeah, this dickhead's made a fucking documentary about himself. But that's not exactly what it is. It's all an actual dramatized screenplay. So if you get the chance, get online and have a look at it. It's you can go to sanctuaryfilm.com and watch it. It's part of my online streaming film festival that I started last year with some friends.
I'm definitely gonna watch it. I did mention before in the introduction you did a movie with the legendary Aussie icon Magda Zabansky and singer Ronan Keating. What was the role you played and how did that come about?
Where did you get all that info from? Is that like Wikipedia or something? Is it?
I did my research.
Because I just wondered, because Wikipedia, I know nothing about Wikipedia. Like, I got to get someone to update it for me, because all of that stuff's so old. I mean, it's great. I love working with Magda. That was such a cool movie to work on, even though I had only just a small walk-on part. But just had other little roles in the last year that have been really exciting. Like, I got to go over to New Zealand and shoot a little scene with Rachel Griffiths in the wilds for Amazon Prime. I did a little part on Wentworth, the prison series down in Melbourne, and I even landed a role this year on Clickbait with Adrian Grenier from Entourage, and I don't know what's happening with that because of COVID and all the lockdowns and stuff. So that's been dragged out a little bit, but the whole acting thing has been something I've done my whole life. Like I mentioned earlier, from about the age of 14, I think I was on Home and Away. And I've just found that footage too, by the way. Someone sent it to me. And I had not seen it for like 20 years. So I'll have to send it to you so you can put it up. But I've always been an actor at heart. My wife's an actor as well. And still doing my thing, still auditioning.
Now, your dad, Mr. Goldman, the legend, the icon, was a radio personality. Was he your inspiration to, follow in his footsteps?
Absolutely. He was my inspiration, my guiding light, my rock, my best friend. And if it wasn't for him, I would not have the career that I have today.
Well, we all know Mr. Goldman was someone really amazing and wonderful, and his career was like he was like a light, and it was just so fun to watch you follow him around and show him off and stuff like that. So that was really, really cool.
He's in the movie Shooting Goldman as well.
I can't wait to see that.
A little bit of realism there too, because he talks about having cancer and freaking out in the film that he's going to lose his voice, which eventually happened. He couldn't speak, which is just life imitating art, which is really weird. But it was great to shoot a movie with my dad, and what was even better about it is that we got to go to Paramount Studios in LA with my little sister, and he got to be at the premiere, which was really nice.
I want you to know, I feel exactly what you're going through, because my father, my 76-year-old father, bless him, suffers from 2 cancers, and it's in his bones and in his blood, and it's when I remember Mr. Goldman going through it, it's like this,
why do you call him Mr. Goldman?
You sound like you're in my culture.
Do you go to school with one of his kids or something like that and meet him and go, "Hello, Mr. Goldman"?
In my culture, it's a form of respect, to be honest.
Yeah. Have you ever met him?
No, I've seen pictures of him with you.
Oh, okay. You just seen him on the telly and heard him on the radio and stuff like that. Yeah, cool. Nice.
So I feel what you're going through, and it definitely hits home for me. The next question for you was actually, you're the one who inspired me to do it. You have a podcast, On the Mic, and you interview celebrities, and watching you do On the Mic podcast was a light bulb moment for me, where I said, I wonder if I can ever get on his shows. I wonder if I can ever record a podcast. And
well, you are now.
Yeah, I know. And it was like a light bulb went, yep, that's what I want to do. That's my fallback career, and that's podcasting. What was the inspo? Like, tell us a story. Like, was it just like, oh, okay, I'm acting, I'm hosting radio. What next? Podcast. Like, what was the miracle?
I always thought that hosting a radio show, commercials and music was an interruption in my show.
Mm-hmm.
So in a podcast, I can just talk and I don't have to worry about commercials and music. You know, I always used to have program managers telling me what to do and, you know, what not to say and what to say. And I hated that working on radio. You're getting on a show and feeling great about it. And when you finish, you've done everything you wanted to do. And then some failed radio announcer who became a program manager calls you to their office for 2 hours to have a meeting about what they think you should have done when they've got no proven track record whatsoever. So I was very glad to get out of that and just do my own thing.
I mean, that's that's something I am so inspired about, is to get out there and change people's lives and put a smile on someone's face. And I think
Well, you put a smile on mine, Kat. Thank you very much.
Oh, that's why I'm a huge Gigondo fan, Mr. Goldman. Huge, like
a huge
massive.
What?
I'm a huge Gigondo fan, like massive.
What's Gigondo? Who's Gigondo?
You know, gigantic, huge, you know.
Oh, Gigondo, a gigantic fan of who? Of me? Oh, God, stop
I've been
it.
following your career since 2001. And
oh, wow.
You know, yeah. And I remember
I'm flattered.
I remember just watching you on Upplay, and I remember you having a laptop on your legs, and you're like, you know, I don't think you were typing, you're just going and watching the screen. On me and my friend Cara, who is also, well, she's overseas now, who's a huge fan. I remember us girls giggling on the website, going, "Oh, Michael's doing this, and Michael's saying that, and oh my gosh."
Oh. You got to stop this. You're giving me a big head. I remember when I was hosting that show Up Late and I had the Apple Mac on my lap. The boss called me to his office, not Big Brother, but Big Brother's Big Brother, the guy in charge, and said, "What's this fucking deal you've got with Apple? How much money is Apple paying you to sit there?" And I don't have a deal with Apple. I'm sitting there because there's so much information on this show that I have to know, and I can't carry 20 pieces of paper to go out and host a show with. He was sure that I was just siphoning money away from Channel 10. Wanker.
I want to give a shout out to Talent Scout. You've been with them for many, many years.
Yeah.
Tell
Catherine
me,
Scott, she's a good friend of mine, and I think she's having a baby today.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah,
and
really exciting for her.
Big shout out to them, because I'm following them on Insta and on Facebook as well. How did they discover you at Scout Talent, or did you audition, or like did you just send in like an sort of like a reel to them?
Pardon me. I've been doing voiceovers since I was probably about 8 years old, and I was the youngest voiceover artist that was signed to a voiceover agency in 1988, 87, 86, 1986. And it was called RMK. The agency's still going today. A lady who worked there, Kathy Scott, she started her own agency called EM Voices, and then she changed the name to Kathy Evans Voices, and then she changed it to Scout. And the girl who worked in the office ended up buying it off her and calling it Scout. And we were great friends. And I always said to her, if she ever bought the agency, I'd give her all my work and help her get talent. And I helped her get people like Leon Murray that you interviewed.
Yep.
So I've got him his voice agent and trained him. He might have even mentioned that in the show when he spoke to you, because he always gives me credit. God bless him. Love that little guy. And yeah, and you know, so I've been really blessed to have people who believe in me and are willing to push my talents and sell my wares.
I actually, because I remember not that long ago texting you saying, "Is that your voice on the Coles ad?" Because I remember shopping in Coles and like, that voice is familiar. Who is it? No, oh, it's Mike Goldman.
Yeah, I've done a few Coles ads. I've done one or two voiceovers, that's for sure.
You're a legend, and I highly respect you. I highly look up to you. I think you're an amazing human being. You're
blessed. Thanks, darling.
You're funny. You're hilariously funny. I remember sitting in my bed and being a teen and going, "Oh," and I'm going, "What's your show, Joker Poker?" Is it like a comedy poker?
Oh no!
Sort of like that.
My past coming back to haunt me.
Joker Poker was tuning every week. I had to. It's like
really,
yeah.
Do you know that when they asked me to host that show, I was given the option of hosting Ready Steady Cook, which is a cooking show, or Joker Poker. And Joker Poker was paying more money, and it was people who I knew that I wanted to work with, and so I took that, even though I had no idea how to play poker. They asked me if I knew how to play. I'm like, of course I know how to play poker. Snap, I could play poker, but I said I could play when I really had no idea. And so yeah, I just sort of made it up as I went along, and made up the names of the hands that people would put down. Like if someone put down 2 kings, I'll go, hey, there's a couple of cowboys, or as they say in the business, Brokeback Mountain. And then someone put down a 4 and a 2, and I'd say, there's a 4x2, like piece of wood. And all these, someone put 2 queens down. I said, there's 2 queens, Freddie Mercury and Elton John. Yeah, so we had a bit of fun with that show with my co-host. His name was Lee Nelson, who won the Aussie Millions. Now owns a resort in New Zealand. Lovely man.
Do you like New Zealand?
I love New Zealand. New Zealand's amazing. I've traveled all over New Zealand.
I grew up there.
Oh wow, whereabouts?
Auckland.
Oh, Auckland, great. Love Auckland.
Before coming here,
beautiful town.
Yeah.
Hey, did you watch the America's Cup?
Yes.
Yeah, how good are those boats? How crazy with this, like hydrophilic, how fast they go. They come up out of the water, and these guys wearing space suits sponsored by Prada, flying those things around the ocean. Down around in Auckland, it's called the Viaduct, where all the bars are and where all the boats park. That would have been the best party at the America's Cup this year. Oh my God. Oh, wait a minute. Social distancing and COVID. Maybe it wasn't.
I have a story about that. I remember in New Zealand before we came here, I was in school with my brothers at the same school, and New Zealand won America's Cup that year, and I was waiting for my brothers after school to come get me so we could go home. Long story short, they never turned up. So this little girl freaking out I called my father and I said, they're not here. Dad comes down to school, picks me up. Where are they? At the ticker tape parade in Auckland City, leaving me behind in school.
How cool. Yeah, that's where I stayed recently when I shot The Wilds for Amazon Prime in New Zealand. They gave me a really nice room too. It was a great place. Very lucky.
I think we need more of you on our TV. It'll never get boring.
Oh, stop it. Hey, have you seen network11.tv?
Yes.
Yes, so check out network11.tv. And I have shows on there. One's called The Scrolly, which is basically me scrolling the internet, just like I was watching Big Brother Housemates and talking about them. I'm just talking about whatever I'm looking at on the internet. And today we're doing a Scrolly on the Coles catalogue. Sounds boring, but it's amazing the amount of things in the Coles catalogue that have been cancelled, like Coon Cheese is now called Cheer.
Oh my God!
They're trying to cancel Gay Time.
Because, I heard that. I'm going to do a podcast on that.
A section of the community shouldn't be owned by an ice cream.
I know.
And all these other, like Finish, the product Finish. Like Finnish people are really pissed off because they don't want to be associated with dirty dishes.
Thank God.
Like anyway, you'll see that probably tomorrow on network11.tv.
But we've got on Aldi.
But that Network 11 is it's a business I have with a couple of friends of mine that I started. So I am basically a producer and writer for a lot of the shows that are on there where I'm not on camera, like The Ruck with Rico Gear. He is an ex-All Black. You might know if you follow. You're a Kiwi, of course. You follow the All Blacks.
Oh, of course.
Probably try to play for them at one stage. And we have a show that I produce that he hosts called The Ruck, and there's about 10 episodes, which is podcast and also video on network11.tv. And another show called The Sports Bar with Margot Parker, Rika Gira, and myself, which is all about sport that's coming up and everything that was just recently on. And a few other shows which are really exciting. And the thing I love about network11.tv is unlike YouTube, where the algorithms feed you everything that you have to have. This is all categorized, and it's like a bespoke perfect version of every category of YouTube, curated by us from Network 11. So get on there and have a look at it. Love to know what you think, Kat.
Oh, I'm going to have a look at it today because, I think it's important to put more sort of, we're in such a sort of weird turmoil generation time in our lives. And I think, we need a lot of funny, because I'm seeing a lot of Aussie drama shows. I'm like, we have enough drama in our lives. Like, can we please lighten the load?
Yeah, exactly. You know what pisses me off about Netflix and Amazon and all those streaming services? Like, how many fucking pandemic shows do we need while we're in a fucking pandemic? Like, I do not want to watch people coughing and dying and worried about a virus when that's what's fucking going on in my life.
I know. And with, the premier going, okay, as of Monday, everyone's going to go loose, run amok, just like have fun with it. I'm going, dear God, what have you done? You know what? Here's the thing I think you and I could work with. Here's the idea. You said streaming services. How about an Aussie streaming service? Nothing but Aussie.
So that's ours. Network11.tv. That's what ours is.
No, but like, yeah, but like how they've got Netflix, they've got Stan, they've got Disney. That's all like Americanized.
No, Stan is Australian.
Is it?
Yeah, Stan's owned by Channel 9.
Okay, because I've got it. I thought it was American.
KO. Have you seen KO?
No, not yet.
KAYO. So KO's the sports streaming service, but that's owned by Foxtel, so I guess it's American owned. But we're Australian owned, baby. And if you want to get the news as well, we've got 11 News as well. There's an 11 News app, and the news is hosted by Christy Johns, who's a good friend of mine.
Australian Online News?
Yeah, Australian Online News is it's another business altogether, which is about 200 sites across Australia with a constant news feed of everything that's going on in that local area. So if it's Tenterfield, Melbourne, Tamworth, Sunshine Coast, Gold Coast, Coffs Harbour, onlinenews.com.au. And you can see it all, up to the minute information, everything pulled in from like the SES, the police, the local councils, the local newspapers, the local Facebook groups, constantly feeding you all of the news plus whatever's the most popular in that area. It's the future.
I have one last question. I think you're gonna.
One last question.
Yeah.
We should do the last question song. You have to sing it.
Oh,
Can you sing it to me?
Oh, I don't
sing
know.
me the last question.
Really?
Yes. I'm not answering it unless you sing it.
Something people don't know about you, i.e. secret talent. Can you share the hidden talent? Mike Goldman.
As a matter of fact, I can share my hidden talents with you. I can tell you about the bands I was in, the times I sang on stage.
Then I'll invite you to karaoke with me.
We're just going to keep going. I played in bands. I played in bands in the 90s. Two of the Angels, the Hoodoo Gurus, Bad Religion, played Festival Hall, a big building here in Brisbane. I was a singer, guitar player, and the band was called Polish, Polish. And we used to have Polish people show up to our shows thinking we played polka, which wasn't the case. They left very disappointed. And we had a whole heap of songs with a development deal with Warner Brothers Music. We got played on Triple J and Stereo, Triple M because I had a radio show on Triple M. And of course, I was going to play my own band. But it was one of the most fun times in my life. So there you go. There's something you didn't know about me.
So no, like tongue twisters or, secret, like, I don't know, magic tricks, perhaps.
I'm going to cut off my thumb.
You are so funny. Oh my God!
No, I do know a little bit of magic because one of my best friends is Matt Hollywood, magician extraordinaire. Yeah, he's an awesome dude. Hey, are you excited about? Oh, you there?
Yeah.
Are you excited about the new series of Big Brother starting in a few weeks?
Well, my fiance, he was never into Big Brother, and I made him sit down for last year's series, and he fell in love with it. But
Oh,
this
great.
this year we plan on sitting down. I have some issues with the format and how it's played.
Mm.
Um, I don't want to control, but I think they need to bring back the whole 3 month waiting, like 3 month
Mm.
show, because there's so much content that, you know, you being a radio star and podcaster and TV host, as a podcaster myself, learning my craft, there's so much content. And
Yeah.
bringing someone into a house and less than 24 hours evicting them, it's like, whoa, wait a minute, we know nothing about these people and they're like being evicted like every day on the outside, like eviction after eviction. It's like, hold on a second, this is weird. Like I'm not used to not knowing who these people are, and give us time. And there was, I've seen fans who we do love the series, but fans who are upset that the real Big Brother needs to make a comeback. I mean, of course, we know Leon Murray, but he
Hey,
needs
Leon.
to breed. They need to, reach out to him and say, hey, can you please come back to the show, because he's so talented and he's so gifted and he's so funny and mysterious. And the new Big Brother, as nice as he is, I'm trying not to be biased, but I'm sorry, but Leon Murray is the Big Brother for me. He does it all. And I've seen so many fans go, well, where's the original Big Brother? Why is he not here?
Maybe Leon needs to do a show about Big Brother that he hosts, talking about everything that happened.
I think so too. I think you two
You know
would.
what? You can produce it because you're a massive fan, but I'll talk to him, see if we can
Yeah.
organize something.
Yeah, because thing is, it's like it's not the same as going into, like, I think the new Big Brother took on. There was a moment for me where I was like, oh, he's using that method, is he? Where he used the freeze moment. I'm going, are we rehashing old themes like freeze moment? Like, where's the creativity? Where's the originality of our Big Brother? Like, Channel 7, is doing a great thing, but we need spice in our lives. It's too goody goody.
Yeah.
We need spice.
Yes. Well, it has done very well, and I think that maybe the producers were thinking that in this fast-paced world where people's attention spans are so short, if they compact it into shorter episodes, and rather than kicking one person out a week, they kick four people out a week, and you get the full story in an hour episode. I mean, you can watch a movie in an hour and a half, 2 hours. So why can't you watch an episode of Big Brother and someone gets evicted?
Yeah. I think the tasks are crazy. Like, the tasks seem super hard. And I'm not sure the contestants, it was like, when I saw it was like new celebrity contestants, I'm like, okay, so they're doing a celebrity one. But the new housemates that were in there, that was being filmed, are not, I don't think they're celebrities. I think they're just everyday people. Maybe one or two of them are celebrity. But I think if you're going to do a cast, bring back Brie, Mother Hen.
Mm.
She was amazing.
Mm.
Maybe Chuck and Fitzy.
Mm. I don't reckon
Paulie.
Fitzy would do it. Fitzy knows that's where he got his start, but I think he wants to be as far away from Big Brother as
I
humanly
know,
possible.
yeah. I'd say just chuck him in there anyway. Just take him and throw him in there. I think
Yeah, that would be cool.
Paulie.
Paulie's great.
Oh,
Paulie's a really good talent and a great surfer.
yeah.
He made me a surfboard once.
Really?
Yeah, he did.
I remember.
You know what his surfboard label is called?
I don't remember.
Pissed Chickens. Pissed Chickens. And he's got a picture of a chicken doing a wee on the front of the surfboard as his logo.
Oh my God.
His nickname's Chicken.
I remember in 2012 when they did the bringing in former housemates. He was really antagonizing Ben, and I was like, oh no, someone's gonna do something. Someone's gonna snap and really retaliate. I think we should really. What Australia wants is the long 3 month. They want Big Brother, the original, and they want up late again. They want Friday night games. They want evictions. They want nominations. And that was the highlight is you walk into a nomination chamber and it's just like you have to nominate, differently, weirdly. Like, can we not do an American version? Because that's what it is, technically, American Canadian. And, we also, Tim went into the Canadian one and I watched that series, which is really good. And
Mm,
I don't know, I miss quality over quantity,
mm.
to be
I
honest.
know what you're saying. I know
Like,
what you're saying.
as someone who's,
Different show.
yeah, I mean, for me, all jokes aside, there's a spark missing. There's, I don't know. I've always been sort of trying to tell people who've watched it. I feel like we're not heading in the direction of originality anymore. We're sort of like leaning on get this person out, get out, get out, get out, get out, get out, boom, win. And it's sort of, yeah, but that's about it. But
Yes.
I have loved, honestly, it's been an honor for me and a privilege. You don't know how much to have you sitting in front of me and talking to you and learning about you and, you know, trying to, do as much focus as I can and getting to know you.
Mm.
I appreciate the time. I know how busy you are, to spend some time with me and just get to know you and get to know the real you. I appreciate you coming onto Cat Space more than you can imagine. And
Great to be on Cat Space. I much prefer it to MySpace.
that's true. I remember that.
What it's been bugging me this whole interview, and I've got to ask, what is that in the background there to your right? Is that an air conditioner or is it
No, it's
a
actually
vacuum?
this tall thing is a fan. We got it from
Oh,
Bunnings. And
okay.
because living in, towards the, sort of hottest in the area, we were like
Where are
in
you?
Hunters Hill.
Oh, okay. And you on your laptop, are you?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, it's a shame. I was going to get you to walk around the house and give us a tour.
I
Hey,
could if
thank
you
you so
want
much
to.
for having me on your show. Hey, yeah, if you want, I don't mind.
So where I'm sitting here at the moment, because we're packing, so there's a lot of boxes here. So we're packing. So where I'm sitting is the lounge. Behind me is the kitchen, and
Mm,
I'll show you a bit of the view where I'm at.
you got this.
Oh, I've got this all right. How do I switch it? I have no idea how to switch a camera on here.
No, just walk us around.
Okay, so
This is a tour of Kat's house. And
well,
I hope you
how do I
cleaned
switch
up.
the camera on here? I have no
I
idea.
hope you vacuumed. I hope you cleaned the house. I hope
Well,
you
I've
cleaned up
tried,
after
believe
yourself.
me. How do you switch a camera on here? You can't, can you? You can only. No, I don't know how, but I'll sort of put it towards. So I'll open the door actually. Whoops. Uh, so we wake up to these every single day. Oh my God.
I'm getting in to look outside. Okay, cool. Amazing.
So I don't know what you can see.
What a beautiful bush you have.
So this is what we wake up to every morning. Evergreen trees here, and we have this little
No,
cute tree.
the
So
hunter's hill life.
that's our balcony. Over here, we've got at night these Christmas lights go on
Mm,
to make the house look really pretty. House is a bit of
mm.
a mess, sorry. So this is the lounge, the kitchen. Hallway, as you can see, boxes. That's our bedroom over there. And then the spare bedroom is the entertainment room,
Mm.
which we had to because in here, there's no way to put a TV. So yeah, the way this place is done is like really, really old. So,
Nice.
yeah, I'm hoping in the future to have, a bigger stabilized computer and the whole radio set. So yeah, that's my house in a
Mm.
nutshell.
Well, I'm in the offices of Network11.tv. So would you like to see all the staff here? Okay. This is the Cat Eyes podcast. This is the Network11.tv people.
Hi guys.
Thanks for having me on the show.
I love it. Can one get a
All
job
right,
there?
darling. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, hey, who knows? Fingers crossed.
Alrighty. Thank you so much for spending time with me. I appreciate it.
All right, lovely. Thanks for having me on.
Bye.
Bye.